So let's go ahead and get on with it. So I was out there walking around like I do every morning, getting ready to do this podcast. I spent some time by myself running ideas over in my head so that I can be sure to come out here knowing that I have prepared, that I have thought about what I'm going to say and how it should be presented. And so I'm out there today and I'm thinking about all these different ideas I have for what we could talk about. And I hit on a couple ideas, and one of them will be another podcast I do in another sitting. And it just made me go, oh yeah, I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. I'm like, yeah, I dig it. And it set me on this path right here because I got to thinking about it. If you want to make an evaluation of your life, if you're interested in taking a good inventory of your life, why not start there? Why not start by just waking up every day and take an inventory of all the things in your life that make you say, oh yeah. You know what I mean? Make you feel all good inside and get you excited. The kind of things you say, hey, we got to do this again. I think that's where it sits. Think about it. Think about it. It never feels bad to say, oh yeah. It never feels bad to be exhilarated and excited about some event in your life. And what's interesting is no one adds that to your life. You have to find it. Oh yeah. Maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe it's football, flag football or tackle football after work, or maybe it's poker. I think if you're struggling with where you're at, and people generally don't admit that, I got to say that right now, people generally will not admit how bad it really is. And it's partly because we don't want to be exposed to us. I mean, do you really want to look inside yourself at all the damage? You want to look at all those hurtful memories that you've never resolved or never dealt with? No, it's an ugly place to be. But that's where you find the good too, and that's the struggle that we have. If you're waking up every day and your feet hit the floor and you go, oh man, you wish today was already over, maybe you're doing the wrong thing. Maybe you should pick something that makes you go, oh yeah, all right. It's a struggle, but I love it. It's a struggle because, but it's going to make my life so much better. Oh yeah. This stuff coming up, this stuff that we're seeing, we aren't even in the end of this. We don't know how this is going to damage us economically. It's changing the dynamic of commerce, I can tell you that, but we don't know how this is going to affect us. But even if things are going south for you right now, there are still reasons in your life for you to be able to say, oh yeah. Look around. I have a wonderful wife. I try to be irresistible, but sometimes it's not. It's pretty hard to be irresistible. That's kind of a joke from another podcast. But not everything in my life is, oh yeah. I mean, working on the RV, waxing the RV, although I do take pride in my home. I look at it as my home, so just like a house, you have to take care of it. You have to maintain it and keep it nice. Or at least I believe you do. But there are so many options. Yesterday, Sandy and we jumped on our bikes, and my wife has taken on the responsibility of, she is the project planner or the event planner. She's our event planner of the two of us. See, I'm busy doing podcasts and working out, and I'm handling stuff and fixing stuff, but she's responsible for planning. So yesterday she tells me we're going to number 1 Baldwin Street. And I'm like, what? All right, so we loaded our bikes up and we went for a 15-mile bike ride. Coolest thing ever. I mean, we started out by this processing plant, and it dropped into this covered trail. It was all engulfed in greenery. It was just like a tunnel, and it was cool. And it just went for miles and miles, and they have such beautiful parks, and it's just amazing. I can't remember how many times I said, oh yeah. That's pretty cool, huh? Yeah. I don't know. Times are tough right now. It's hard to keep your head wrapped around all the things that are happening, much less anything you have to do. I don't think any one of us is sitting in a position where we're like, okay, I'm ready to improve my life, because most of us are thinking, oh crap, what's coming, right? But I think that's the mistake. I think for me what happens is, if I want good things to happen in my life, what I have to do is I have to start looking for those good things. And like that trail, Sandy had taken on that job, and she's doing a fine job from her our first adventure. I'm thinking, yeah, do more of that, right? But if you spend your time looking at how bad it is, how do you find the energy and time to focus on how good it can be? The idea of doing things that make you say, oh yeah, even if it's just something simple like playing disc golf or going for a walk. Now I got to tell you guys, if you're planning on telling your partner to go out and throw their tennis shoes on and go for a long walk, someone's going to hear some stuff for a while. There's going to be a talker and a good listener. I've done it. But there's nothing better than taking that effort and taking that action every day and having the result being that you guys just love walking and talking, that you love each other's stories, and you play with ideas and plans, and you're just you're in sync. Makes you say, oh yeah. It does. Makes me say, oh yeah. Even if you're working your butt off, trade something. There's got to be something you do that you don't have to do. You just do it because everybody else is doing it, or because you got this idea in your head because of your parents and whoever that it's important. I used to spend 3 hours a weekend cleaning vehicles. Now I appreciate a nice clean vehicle, but I also appreciate what I could do with that time if I wasn't cleaning a vehicle. So I'm cutting it back. I've cut it back quite a bit. And it's been replaced. I have more time to ride. I have more time to do stuff like this. And I got to tell you, the other day I had a moment, an oh yeah moment with the podcast. I was sitting there listening to or watching a video, one of the videos I shot. I don't even remember the name of the podcast, but I was sitting there on YouTube, and I critiqued myself because I don't want to come across as this phony ass guy who's looking for something. I'm not a salesman. I'm not selling you anything. I'm sharing ideas with you on how you can change the course of your life and spend more time doing what you love, right? But I'm sitting here looking at my videos, and I'm thinking, yeah, I got this. I think I have this. This is pretty cool. It looks good. I mean, the lighting's right, the sound is right, and the message isn't bad. Hey, if you want to be entertained, if you want me to make you laugh, then okay, let's talk about making you laugh. You don't want to know the funniest shit I've ever seen? It's grass. Not whether you like it or you don't like it, but the idea of growing a lawn. Here it is. How many hours a week have you spent in your life mowing lawn? How many hours in a week do you spend taking care of this crop? Because that's basically what it is. You're growing something. You're a farmer. But what's ironic about it is you're growing something that no one can even eat. You are putting resources into a crop that's useless. Well, it's not useless. It keeps the lawnmower companies in business. It keeps the water company in business, and it keeps you from competing with produce farmers, with big farms. Not a bad plan. Hey, let's give them this crop. Makes it look really pretty. Oh yeah. They'll stop gardening. And what do we do? Hey, if you're going to have a green spot in front of your house, why don't we go with like tomatoes, zucchinis, or I don't know. You pick it. Peppers, maybe. And at least at the end of the season, when you've given basket after basket of produce away, and you're still gardening, you're still taking care of something that grows, right? At the end of the season, you can say, yeah, because you did something that had value to someone. I don't know. I'm having a little fun with this one. It's not really a big issue for me. I think, so the steps to getting to this, let's talk about it, because I think that sometimes I shortchange you when I tell you about something, and then I don't give you specific steps for how you are able to make this happen. It all comes down to where you look. I mean, anything we do in our life, it all comes down to where we focus our attention. That's part of the reason that I try and stay away from social media, and I'm in this. I'm in my podcast, and I'm in my life, and we're doing the things we do, but I've really tapered down the amount of bandwidth I delegate to things that I don't see as adding true value to my life, right? So if you want to add this to your life, all it amounts to is take a look at the experiences you've had from the past, or things that you've thought about that entice you. And they don't have to be big money items. You don't have to buy a boat. You don't have to do any of that. You could actually go for a walk. You could actually start playing disc golf 3 days a week. You could, you name it. It's your life. This is what's so cool about this. This is a custom package built for you. But pick something in your life that you actually truly enjoy doing that you don't do enough of, and start doing it. And that's one, oh yeah. Just like that. That's one, oh yeah. But the battle you face, the battle we all face, is the decision to take action. See, you can have this idea and you can get, all right, oh yeah, I found it. I'm going to become a disc golfer. I like disc golf, or I'm going to fish more. The next thing you face in your decision is taking action, making it happen. How do you do that? Well, you just wake up every day, and just like you put your socks on, you do that thing that brings you closer to your goal. If that thing needs to be, do some research and find out what path is best for where you're going, then maybe that's what you should do that day. And that minute, or that 3 minutes, or that 4 hours, you're sitting down there looking at that screen, scrolling through all kinds of crap that don't matter. You could take that time and scroll through all kinds of crap that does. Yeah. And before you know it, you're past that step. And before you know it, you're past the next step. Now, it's not an emotional thing. I've said this before. I will say it throughout anything you hear from me. The decision or the ability to succeed in your life, or to achieve your goals, or to live your best life, has nothing to do with emotion. People who succeed don't do it because of how they feel about it. They do it because that is the step that has to be taken in order for them to achieve their goal. How many times a day do you say, oh yeah? I say it a lot. I've said it a lot in this podcast. It's actually kind of fun, because when you think about it, you know what that signifies? That signifies you are in your element. When we got done riding that 15 miles, we were tired, because I don't like to sit down when I ride. So I stand up the whole way and I ride. And it's tough, but that's what you do, right? But at the end of it, we're tired, but we're like, oh yeah, we rocked it. And it added so much value, and more than that, it added so much positive energy to our life, to that moment, to yesterday. That I'm this morning, I'm thinking, okay, I'm getting up, I'm doing my podcast, I'm gonna get my workout in. I've decided that's a priority. Now it's getting hot out there. Doesn't matter. I got to get it done. Maybe we'll jump back on the kayaks or do something, because Sandy is watching our granddaughter tomorrow, and I'm gonna get a bunch of stuff done tomorrow around the rig. But that's that energy, that positive energy. And when you do shit that makes you say, oh yeah, shit that makes you happy inside, makes you feel great inside, that's fuel in your tank. That is energy in your tank that says, oh, okay, well, let's go get more of that. Let's go do more of that. That's pretty cool. So anyway, hey, listen, I really appreciate you checking in with me. I am back. We are in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We continue to enjoy our life, and my goal, as always, is to help you do more to enjoy yours. I'm not asking for anything. I'm trying to give you something, guys. So I hope you'll keep tuning in. I hope you will bear with me, all the glitches and the weirdness that goes on when you sit up here in front of a microphone every day and you talk to people you've never met. It's an edgy sword. I mean, it's kind of edgy sometimes, but keep checking in. As always, I appreciate what you do. Today's your day. Make it a good one.